Live from the Las Vegas Strip Studio, home of the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm Brad Stein. Welcome to Bettor Center Live. You can watch us daily, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on LouisDiamond.com. Also check out YouTube at Louis Diamond. Today, we only have 3, but they're great pro handicappers all over the globe coming right here on Bettor Center Live to help make us a little money, which they've been doing such a damn good job. Coming up today, we have NBA, Major League Baseball, and of course, the most interesting play of the day. Now the 3 guys, you might know them as Chip Trimbus, Ross Benjamin, and Louis Diamond. Their age, they're young guys. Well, maybe not. Louis D., how many years have you been in the business?
I started in 1986, so we're in 2020. So what's that? 34 years, a little over 34 years in this business specifically. Yes.
And Ross, what about you? How many years have you been in the business?
I'm the youngster of the 3, I must say.
That's what I thought.
I only been doing this publicly since 2002, so I take pride in that when, we're starting to be referred to as the 3 dinosaurs. I'm the youngest of the 3 dinosaurs in terms
So
of
you'd be the T-Rex.
Publicly. Yes, there you go. So since
T-Rex.
2002, been involved in this industry much longer than that. It's on a personal level, but publicly since 2002.
Chip, you must be the Stegosaurus of the bunch, right? You've been in the business for how many years?
I'd rather not say, but I did start the business in 1978.
What? Okay.
I was only 6.
It was a long time ago. It was a long
between
time
the
ago.
3 of you, we're close to 100 years. We're close to 100 years between the 3 of us. So we're
of experience.
Yeah, just experience. We're very experienced people.
Only
Louis D., how can
century.
we find out more about Bettor Center Live? How can we find more about how can we get in contact with you if we want to make money? Our wallets are a little bit light.
All right. Well, if you want to fatten the wall a little bit, but you got to have a long-term outlook. If you have that long-term outlook, we'll do very well together. I know a lot of these players are pretty new to the game, and they want to see something happen like yesterday because they got a little bit behind, and boy, they need to get themselves out. And the worst thing you can do is get on that wagon of chasing. So if you contact me, first thing we're going to do is we're going to slow everything down and try to take a long-term outlook. That's why when I charge for my services, it's one of 2 ways. It's either how much are you betting the game, and I'm going to charge you for 1 pick for a 30-day service. So if you're betting $200 a game, I charge you $200 for a month. Not looking to sell you the moon and get you and tell you you're going to take a wheelbarrow full of cash every week. Okay, it's a long-term grind. So if you're a marathon guy and you really want to take it to the next level, you can call me at 877. Right down there, 711-WINS, 711 wins. And I'll be happy to answer the phone myself, and you won't have to get hammered with a bunch of salesmen giving high commissions. And, at the end of the day, you do me right, I'll do you right, and I'll do the homework every day, as you can see. So call me.
Louis
or
Diamond.
Text free winner to 90210.
90210. Louis Diamond, a couple of weeks ago, you called me a homer when I said that the Raiders might be a surprise pick in the AFC. What are you thinking now, Louis D? The Raiders beat the New Orleans Saints, one of the best rosters in the NFL. What did you learn from yesterday?
Let me answer this question right back at you. I hate to answer a question with a question, but was I wrong about you being a homer? Look at you. Look at you.
I'm not a homer. I'm a fan of the New York Football Giants. I just thought that the Raiders, they have a good offensive line. They can run the ball. And David Carr's 3rd year with the John Gruden system, and the defense is not as bad as it looks, or as people say.
Well,
so I thought they had a good chance just to be a wild card team. I didn't say Super Bowl. I just said wild card team.
Possibly because of after Kansas City, I'm not sure what Denver is bringing to the table. So it could be possible, But hats off to them. They outplayed them. This wasn't a lucky win, and but it could have been obviously Michael Thomas meant quite a bit. Drew Brees, maybe a little. Maybe he's losing a little bit in his game. I don't know yet, but I'll be honest. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting it. Do I now? I even want to bet against them more next week because they got to be flat after that. So those are my early thoughts on that one.
All right, we move over to Ross Benjamin, one of the 3 spring chickens of today's show, the human creamsicle. What did you learn yesterday?
What did I learn yesterday? I learned yesterday that New Orleans is in the same offense without Michael Thomas in the lineup. I learned yesterday that when you have a team like New Orleans coming off an opening win against Tampa Bay, who was so highly hyped with Tom Brady, they're due for a letdown. I learned yesterday that the Oakland offense isn't that bad, but by the same token, I'm not willing to label them as an AFC wildcard team just yet. They caught New Orleans in a real good spot without their best wide receiver. And again, caught New Orleans off a division win against a well-hyped team like Tampa Bay. So that seemed to be a flat spot for New Orleans. I did have Oakland yesterday. By the way, Brad, my website, rbwins.com, that's rbwins.com. Since the opening Monday night of the season in the NFL, I'm now 7-2 with my last 9. You count the college football of 3-0 last Saturday. My pay selections, the reason why people pay for my selections, 10-2 combined in the NFL and college football since the opening night of the Monday night NFL season. And, here's the thing. I give a guarantee on my week and month subscriptions. Louis talked about long-term, and this goes hand in hand to what Louis just said. If you make that initial investment with me on a 7-day or 30-day package, if you're not making a profit at the end of that subscription, when that expires, then I will extend it until you do. That's just my confidence in knowing if you stick with me, you're going to make a profit over the long haul. Again, doesn't get any better than that. And I'll tell you what, if you go to Louis Diamond YouTube page, first of all, I want you to subscribe because it's there. If you miss our live stream, you're going to be able to see us on archive at your convenience. Okay. And once you subscribe, I also start giving us a like on these videos. It goes a long way in giving us incentive going forward. And if indeed you subscribe at the Louis Diamond page and you contact me at 781-571-0299, I also don't employ any salespeople. You'll talk to me direct. Ross, I saw you on the Louis Diamond show, and I just subscribed to Louis Diamond's YouTube channel. I will give you the next 3 days free of my premium selections, my paid selections. Okay? That's all you got to do. I mean, I could take you to water. I can't make you drink. So get thirsty, get hungry. Give me a call.
2 great things came out of 1976. The Chipster started sports handicapping, and, of course, the movie Rocky. Chip, what did you learn from yesterday?
My goodness, I learned the Raiders don't have any quit in them, down 10-0. They could have just turned around and walked away. I mean, those cardboard cutouts were booing like crazy in the first quarter. But no, I think I was surprised at how the Raiders are able to come back and suck it up. And maybe they are a playoff-bound team. It is Gruden's 3rd year, and we'll see what he can do with that club. But I think I was impressed. I gave the Raiders out, and I was pleasantly surprised at what I saw. By the way, I also think that Drew Brees, at 41 years old, may have slipped a little more than 43-year-old Tom Brady at this time. Both of them now, listen, talk about archives. I think those two belong there.
Hey, Chip, by the way, Chip,
Yeah.
how
Yes.
you've been doing well of late, haven't you?
Yeah, it's 4-0 on Saturday in the football. Yesterday was 3-0 at the baseball. Sunday we chopped a little bit. We did have a best bet winner on Sunday in baseball, and yesterday again in baseball, it's really been very smooth for us. So we had 3 big winners yesterday. I was happy about it.
Fantastic.
Thank you, boss.
All right, come along with me. The three spring chickens as we move to game number 1. That's the NBA playoffs. Game number 3, the Lakers are up 2-0. Could this be the game the Nuggets get back into the mix? Possibly. The spread opened up. Lakers -6.5, currently -6.5, over under 214. It is still 214. We'll start right there with the chipster. What are your thoughts for playoff game number 3?
Well, I think the home court advantage is definitely forefront here as the line dropped from 7 to 6.5. They changed uniforms, and now instead of being a 7-point favorite, Denver's the home team, and LA is only a 6.5-point favorite. But I think the fact that LeBron James is pissed off, and I think that the Lakers are very aware of what Denver's done coming back from 3-1 deficits in the first 2 series, and they're not going to take them lightly. I think that LA is the play here today. They had the number covered, but they pay on the final score, so I don't have to, don't worry about them blowing 13-point leads in the fourth quarter. They have to get over that hump and get over that number. I think LA's the side here, and Denver's going to be jettisoned pretty quick.
Louis, bag of diamonds. The Lakers almost blew the lead in the fourth quarter. Anthony Davis kind of bailed them out. Is this the game that the Denver Nuggets could win, and we should think about them 6.5-point dogs?
Well, it's probably the only way I might want to think about it, but I can't see me investing anywhere into it tonight. But this would be the spot for not only Denver, but Denver on the money line. Could be a little opportunity, maybe for a can of beer. But this game has been, everybody's talking under, and it seems like under. Why is the line not moving? Smells. This one smells. I think it's time to consider a little shot with the over, maybe, but not much. But the under's just too obvious. There's no line movement. It scares me.
It scares me when the human creamsicle is laughing, smiling. I know he's up to something. What is it, Ross?
I'm just happy I'm on this show. Let me tell you that. I'm in great company. That's all. Anyway, the human creamsicle, here's what he's got for you. Look, we've all played sports in our life competitively at one point, many years ago, whatever have. Having said that, we've also been professional handicappers for a long time. Denver came from 3-1 down in Series 1. They came from 3-1 down in Series 2. First team to ever do that. We all know as former athletes and now as handicappers, how much energy that has to be expended coming back from not only being down in the game, but being down in a deficit, and how much that takes a toll on you mentally. Yeah, you could say they're confident when they're down, but sooner or later that's going to catch up to you. And I think Denver's at that point. I mean, sure, if they're going to respond in this series, it's got to be now, right? Because they're not going to come back from 3-0 down against the Lakers. There's no way. I just think this is a bad matchup for Denver. I think they're out of gas right now. I think they're mentally and physically exhausted from the last 2 series. And I think that last deflating loss, where I believe was a buzzer beater, if I'm not mistaken, guys, I'd have to lean toward using the Lakers here in this situation. I'm going to look at it further after I get off air here, but that's the direction I'm leaning toward as of this moment, Brad.
And that's why we pay him the big bucks.
The big bucks.
So I'm just throwing, that's pretty detailed. That's a pretty good point. I know I just threw out the other side in a possible money line, but I'm just, can of beer type of thing. But you make some valid points there, Ross. And now I've really got to take another look into this, because those are valid points. If they're out of gas and it's over with, it's over with. And you might be right there. Good points. Thank you.
Thank you.
Outstanding points. We move to game number 2. That's Major League Baseball. We go to the Diamond. Tampa Bay at the New York Mets. This opened up Tampa Bay -115, currently -135. Over-under has stayed at 7.5. Louis D., what are your thoughts on this game?
Well, yesterday we had some pretty good thoughts on that. We got plus, maybe $1.70 on that game yesterday. We had a nice underdog with Tampa Bay. But now today they come in as a favorite, and, Snell's on the mound. And, he's a monster. He's a beast. I don't want to bet against him. He used to be a dead under pitcher. Now he's dead over, 8-2 to the over. Lugo comes in 1-3 to the under. Getting a lot of mixed vibes on the game. But the Rays are hot, 5-1 their last 6 against the Mets. The overs hit 8 out of the last 11, but 5 out of the last 7 have gone under in New York. So a lot of mixed things. I think my money was made with that yesterday, but if I'm taking a shot, it's probably Tampa Bay.
Okay, Chip, the Stegosaurus. What are your thoughts for game number 2?
Well, my thoughts are if you're really interested in big bucks.
That's pretty big.
Big bucks. If you're interested in big bucks, like you said, you should just stick with my baseball selections. Because what was that?
That's not turquoise. Louis said money's turquoise. Put that up again, Chip.
Okay.
Put that up again. Put that bill up again.
This is my big bucks.
There you go.
Where's
Hold on.
turquoise? Louis, tell me where it's turquoise. Anyway,
where's
go ahead,
that $1 million bill I got, honey? Let me crush these guys. I got $1 million bill.
Well, I'm looking at this game with Lugo, who had his shortest career performance the last time out, to bounce back, and I like the Mets in this situation here. I think for the most part, most of the money's coming on Tampa. They only need 2 wins. Actually, they've clinched, I think, the division over the Yankees, and they're going to, for the first time in 12 years, and they're going to the wild card. Tampa's fundamentally very sound. They've been tough all year. Their pitching is really tough, but I think this is a spot here where the Mets have a shot. I'll take New York.
Thanks, Chip. Ross Benjamin, you're up.
Hopefully Seth Lugo does bounce back because, as Chipper alluded to, he's had 2 terrible outings his last 2. Blake Snell, former AL Cy Young Award winner, 7-3 in his team starts this year, but 8-2 to the over. I wouldn't get too caught up with that. If you look at Tampa Bay, their last 9 road games have all gone under the total. And you're looking at the Mets, the last 2 games, they've scored 1 run and amassed just 7 hits. So I'd have a small lean here toward going under the total in this matchup, Brad.
Thank you, guys. Coming up next, the man on the street. He's in Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to go to Tony Cusimano now. Hi, Tony.
How are you, sir? Brad, I am standing before you live here in Atlanta, Georgia, Fulton County Stadium, Atlanta, Georgia. In the backdrop, you might be able to see the legendary Phil Niekro 300-game winner. Tonight we have the Marlins, the visitors at the Braves. Last night the Braves pulled one off, 5-4, a come-from-behind victory. Tonight we've got Urena on the mound against a Bryce Wilson, who is filling in for Cole Hamels. A brief thing on Cole Hamels. I mean, his season pretty much it was over before it even got started this year. So they've already, in fact, the Braves announced it earlier today. They've excluded him. He is off of the postseason roster. So there will not be a Cole Hamels in the postseason for the Braves, which the Braves' magic number is now 3 with last night's win. Let's focus on tonight's game here. Urena comes into this with a very shabby lifetime record against the Braves. He's 2-8 lifetime with a 6.55 ERA. He's given up 11 homers in 67 and a third innings. He's also hit 8 batters. So every time he starts against the Braves, he hits somebody. As far as Bryce Wilson goes, I mean, the kid has a 7.04 ERA. He's obviously a fill-in for Cole Hamels tonight. I am really leaning to the over in this one. In fact, I love the over 9. It might even be 9.5. So Braves, their magic number is 3. You would think with 500 baseball, they've got 6 games left this year. I would think with 500 ball, the Braves should be the division winners in the East. The problem is going into the postseason because their number 1 man, Soroka, he's out for the year. We know the Achilles tendon. Cole Hamels is out of the question. And then if you remember Max Fried, Max Fried, he just came off the DL. He had some back spasms. So, going down the stretch here, I mean, the Braves probably win the division, but when you get into the postseason, you've got to have pitching. And, the Braves, they're going to have an infirmary here. I don't know if they're going to have to call on Florence Nightingale to patch things up. I really don't know. One other quick baseball note before I throw it back to you, Brad. As you know, the Yankees have been hitting the hell out of the baseball. 6 out of their last 7 have been going over. Last night the game went over, but it was the Toronto Blue Jays that put all those runs on the board with 11 runs. And I'm going to tell you something, Bettor Center. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And all of you dime players out there right now, you put the dime on the Toronto Blue Jays tonight, plus 235. Garrett Cole 0-2 in his last 2 road starts. You could make it an 0-3. If you're a 2-dime player, take home the 4,700. And, with that, I'm going to throw it back to you guys in the studio, Louis Bag of Diamonds, and I'm going to throw it back to the eye candy, Mr. Chip. Take it away.
Whoo! Well said. Welcome back to Bettor Center Live on LouisDiamond.com, also YouTube at Louis Diamond. What's that, Chip?
No, it's Ross.
That wasn't me. That was Ross.
Oh,
yeah. Is
Go
the
ahead,
beer
Ross.
vendor serving beer outside the ballpark this early? I don't know. Toronto.
Well, it is Atlanta, and it is kind of hot.
Probably still from last night.
I think he's trying to make a reference that Cusimano must be a little drunk to hammer that dog that hard. So, but you know what? Cusimano got us an awesome tip from Texas State. And you know what? He gets to ride that train. I mean, when he gets the coaches to give you a game plan that nobody else had, I got to give him props. And now what is he in his ninth city in 11 or 12 days or 13 days? So he could be a little bit worn out as well. But anyways, big dog there, right? So let's see what Cusimano's got. I'm going to agree a little bit with the over on that play. I believe Cusimano kind of nails it with Bryce on the mound. He's been hammered. He was hammered last year, been hammered in a couple innings this year, probably get hammered again here today. So, and 6 straight overs for the Marlins versus a left-handed starter. Back to you, Brad.
Game number 4, Marlins Braves. Chip, what are your thoughts for this game? You agree with Cusimano?
Well, I'm just thinking of what a great season it's been for the Marlins, and it looks like Derek Jeter has actually done quite a job. Their lineup is a lot tougher than people realize, and they have some young arms. And I'm always live looking to take the Marlins because of the kind of season they're having and the way it's unanticipated that they'd be doing this. And so every game they go into, I think they have a psychological edge because they're coming from nowhere. So I would take the Marlins here. It's not a play of mine for today, but the Braves have been pretty inconsistent. They were expected to run away with it, and they're very competitive. Of course, they're going to be in the playoffs, and they're going to be something you're going to have to contend with. But I think the Marlins are worth a shot here.
Thank you, Ross B. What can you add to this game number 4?
The game I'm going to stay away from because there's too much conflicting information for me. As a matter of fact, you want to know what kind of conflicting information? I'm glad you asked, Brad.
Yeah, please do.
Atlanta's coming off back-to-back wins. They're 0-4 in their last 4 off back-to-back wins. Miami's coming off back-to-back losses. They're 3-0 in their last 3 off back-to-back losses. So that goes hand in hand with Chipper's pick. But the problem is Jose Urena. I have a hard time backing him against the Atlanta Braves. 1 start against the Braves this year, 2 last year. In those starts, 14 innings pitched, 14 earned runs, allowed 21 hits. Not very good. Bryce Wilson, not good out of the bullpen this year. I don't know why you would think he'd be any better as a starter. This is his first start of the season, I should say. I have to think that Atlanta right there, starting Bryce Wilson, is trying to give the rest of the rotation a little bit of a break in this topsy-turvy year, which we're trying to squeeze a lot of games into a short amount of days. So I don't see him going any more than 2 or 3 innings in this start and turning it over to that Atlanta bullpen. So there's some handicapping data for you, Brad, but as far as me commit, I don't even have a lean in this game. I just think it's a tough call.
All right. Well, we appreciate your honesty. Let's stay with you, Ross. Game number 3. We'll go back to game 3. That's the Orioles at the Red Sox. Red Sox minus 110 over under 10. Any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, the Red Sox can't get out of their own way at home this year. I mean, they've played better of late, right, Brad? I think they've gone 8-7 in their last 15, and that's not impressive. But when you look at their overall record, it just lends one to believe that they've played much better of late. That's all I could say. But 8-19 at Fenway Park. If they played at Fenway Park and their previous 3 games were at home, they're 0-11 this year. Not very good. The Baltimore Orioles, on the other hand, They've gone under in their last 3 games. They've only scored 4 runs in those 3 games combined. Since 2018, the Baltimore Orioles are 1-23 on the road when they've gone under the total in their last 3. So again, 6-1, half dozen of the other 2 teams that are. I mean, I guess Baltimore is mathematically still alive, maybe not, but 2 teams are basically out of the race. Nothing to play for. Not a great feel here, but a lot of strong statistics.
Louis, can you throw any diamonds at game number 3? Your diamonds.
I'll
No one
just
else, yours.
pounce on one extra stat that kind of matches with Ross there. The Orioles are 17-36, their last 53 versus Boston. Trash game, but you got some things that might make you think Boston, but I'd probably stay away from the game. Back to you.
Chip, that leaves you.
Yes. Well, you're giving me a chance to play against the Red Sox, and I love that. The problem is not even any fun anymore. I mean, they're not even competitive. I mean, it's terrible. I'd rather see Boston have something in the lineup. So I'm going to root for the Orioles, and I'm not going to use this game, but I would take Baltimore here just on general principles. And as a Yankee fan, it's a hate bet against the Red Sox as well. I don't have any problem acknowledging that. So I would take Baltimore here and let the Red Sox finish 30 games under 500 in a 60-game schedule. I'd be pretty happy.
I think we just added that game in there so Chip could, have a chance to beat up on the Red Sox a little bit.
They're terrible.
He gets an opportunity. Now he has opportunity to hammer on them.
Chip Chirimbus's hate
anybody
game
could
of the
be a Yankee fan.
Yeah, that's my hate game of the week without question.
Thank you for the hate game of the week. Guys, do you have any early football looks for this week? We'll start with you, Louis D. Anything early on football?
I got a lot of early football looks, so you probably want to timestamp this part here because there's things that you're going to want to look at for this coming week, and the sooner the better, guys. I'm going to start on Friday night. You got Middle Tennessee State, who's been stinking up the joint all over the place. Last 2 games, giving up 40-some points a game, and this line just came out against Texas San Antonio. Line opened up at 6.5. I think you're going to see some steam. This game goes on Friday. I believe you're going to see Texas San Antonio get steamed, and I am on the anti-Middle Tennessee State train just because they're just they can't stop a wet paper bag. So why expect it to start anytime soon? Ride the train until that goes. As far as other college football looks, I really don't have that many just yet, but the NFL, there's definitely some looks here, and maybe I'll get these other guys to join in on a game here. We'll just go game to game here. Steelers and the Texans. All the hype has been going on. Roethlisberger. The line opened up. Steelers -6. I said yesterday, ESPN starting to jump on, and the other sports networks are jumping on the Roethlisberger train. All of a sudden, that line went down from 6.5 or 6 down to 3.5. Texans are getting a lot of steam. I'm against the Texans this year. I think they're a weak team. But Ross and I were chatting about it. So let me just go over to Ross. I am, wondering, why are you think that this team's going on these Texans? You had some good points.
Yeah, you know what, Louis, I agree with you because I took the Texans under 7.5 wins this year and took some criticism for that. And I'm going to stick with that pick. But look, you look at the injury report, there's nobody significant out for Pittsburgh. And that, for that kind of move, we're seeing a lot of sharp money go on the Texans. Here's the thing. Houston's 0-2, but their 2 games they played were against Kansas City and against Baltimore. Those 2 teams won a combined 27-5 in the regular season last year, and they're a combined 4-0 this year. On the other hand, Pittsburgh, they opened up at the Giants, and then they played Denver at home last week, and Denver loses their starting quarterback in the first quarter to an injury. So if you
and they
look
still
at,
kind of struggled.
Yeah,
they still struggled.
Right, because the backup came in and threw for 256 yards. So, yeah, Louis, I mean, this to me, it smells of a huge public play. It's a perception versus reality play. And when I say that, folks, What I mean is people have short memories that are just gamblers, and they're going to look at these two teams' record, look at what happened last week, and not take anything else into account. So this certainly looks like a huge trap play to take the Steelers in this spot.
Yeah, it
Chip,
does
don't
smell.
be shy. Jump in.
No, well, I think Ross is right about one key factor when you look at this game is the fact that the Steelers have played two very weak teams, and of course Houston's played two of the stronger teams in the AFC. I think Jim O'Brien's absolutely horrible at the helm of Houston, and I think we all kind of agree on that. They gave him a promotion and he gets rid of Hopkins. Houston's a major disappointment. I think Louis right about this team not being there this year, and Ross is right about them going under 7.5. But this looks like it looks like a spot where all of a sudden this team could jump up and bite you, at least cover the spread. And if they don't, then they're really going to be in for a long season. I think this is their Waterloo. This is a big game for them, and I think it has some significance for their entire season. And if they don't come through here, they're done.
See, this is where I'm going to jump in, Brad, if I can. Now,
Yeah,
Bill
you already
O'Brien
did.
is a lame brain. Yeah, right. Not that I asked your permission. Bill O'Brien, the lame brain that he is, after that move with DeAndre Hopkins, gets a promotion, and here's me and Chip working our ass off here to give the boss there, Louis Bag of Diamonds, a great show. And where's our promotion, man? If Bill O'Brien can get a promotion, Louis, then so could we. Just a suggestion.
All I can say is that was a money move. That's why he got a promotion. They got rid of the high-end money, and now it was all contract. It was a total money move. Terrible. It had nothing to do with them winning. So now that they don't have to pay off DeAndre Hopkins, here you go, Brian. Take a little extra money. It's bullshit. Come on, guys. So, I guess I could get rid of if I get rid of the high-end money here, there's no show. That's all I can tell you.
That's all you can tell us. All right, guys. Does anyone have anything else to add? Early football picks?
I think there's one interesting game.
Go ahead, Chip. Go ahead.
All right. I thought there was an interesting game that Oklahoma State caught a lot of action this past week. Everybody was really pounding them. I think they played Tulsa, and whoever they played, they really didn't make the number. And I think they were ironing out the kinks. Now they come up at home, a very strong 8.5-point favorite over West Virginia. And the public is naturally gravitating toward taking the points here. And I think this might be the time when the Cowboys put it together. I can see Oklahoma State in this game just off of that number. And I really haven't done any research on the game, and I haven't done too much yet. It's still early in the week for me. And but that game sort of caught my eye. I was trying to figure out why they were such a strong favorite after such a weak performance last week.
Can I follow up?
I'll jump in here.
Go ahead,
I'll jump in real quick. All right. Oklahoma State, obviously, when they're at home, I'm jumping in and I play it over. And we talked about it on Saturday, and we got spanked with it on Saturday. I forgot what they're laying. They were laying 2 touchdowns or more. They didn't even get 2 touchdowns. So a lot of perception. Now the game went from 55 down to 52. Everybody's jumping in on the under, and I think there's going to be some value. You're going to have some balls here, but I think the value is going to be on the over, and you may be right. Oklahoma State may light it up. And if they don't, then obviously you got to take a step back and look, but I wouldn't give up on them after the one game. Go ahead, Ross.
Please do.
Yeah, the only thing I would say, guys, is Oklahoma State's starting quarterback, who's a highly touted quarterback, by the way, got hurt in the first quarter of that game and didn't come back. Otherwise, Chipper, I agree with what you're saying. As far as Oklahoma State and West Virginia being that look like, West Virginia they had a blowout win last week, and on how Oklahoma State looked. I do think if that starting quarterback, whose name, I think his last name is Spencer, if I'm not mistaken, if indeed he was playing, that line wouldn't be 8.5. It would be in the small double-digit numbers. Okay. And as far as the total goes, too, Louis, you're absolutely correct. It's come down, but I just want to know if that's due to Oklahoma State's starting quarterback. I think there's a little bit of that, and also a little bit what you just said, Louis, because it was such a low-scoring output against Tulsa last week. That real intriguing game. No two ways about it. You guys make great points.
My
Spencer
three spring
Sanders.
chickens.
Spencer Sanders. First name is Spencer.
Yes. And they got the boot on him right now, so we really don't know. So that's something we need to obviously keep a look for this week. So tough to jump in on that one just yet. Go ahead, Brett.
Thank you, guys. I'm going to jump in here now. We're going to go to the most interesting play of the day, and we're going to go right back to Ross. You were just on fire, and I loved it. Please continue your most interesting play.
The creamsicle thing. It goes hand in hand with being on fire. One of the two. It's Halloween, right? Anyway, yeah, you could put all the candy in my basket. By the way, St. Louis at Kansas City tonight.
He's trying to be eye candy as hard as he can.
St. Louis Cardinals
Halloween
at the Kansas
candy,
City Royals tonight. Right now, that total is at 8.5. Brady Singer has pitched very well, guys, in his last 2 starts. 14 innings pitched, no earned runs allowed, just 3 hits, 16 Ks. The St. Louis Cardinals right now, over their last 8 games, are hitting 179 as a team. They're averaging 3.9 runs per game during that stretch. Kansas City will be facing a left-handed starting pitcher in Austin Gomber. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He's made 2 starts this year, hasn't allowed an earned run in 5 2/3 innings. St. Louis's bullpen's been very good of late. In Kansas City, when facing a left-handed starting pitcher like they are going to be tonight, they're 8-1 to the under this year in that role. And also, you look at these teams' recent history in interleague games. Kansas City 36-20 to the under since 2008 in interleague games, and the St. Louis Cardinals 13-2 to the under since last year against on the road against American League teams. So, Brad, I'm going to take my most interesting play today will be on the St. Louis Cardinals and the Kansas City Royals to go under 8.5 at Kauffman Stadium tonight.
Thank you, Ross. And that's RB Sports, and I do wear collared shirts on Better Center Live.
RB wins. RB wins.
RB
get
wins.
it right,
Okay.
Brad. If you're going to say something, get it right now. RBwins.com. Repeat after me. Only kidding, buddy. All good.
I know you are. All right, we'll move over to Louis Diamond. Your most interesting play of the day is, drum roll.
It's obvious, guys. Come on. I'm just the reason constantly is so it kind of drills a little thing into your head, and it's the Minnesota's under, and they're home. They're 20-32-2 to the under right now. Sure, you want to look at the pitching to see how strong you want to play it. Don't have much on the pitching that you want to go to town with, but you certainly want to ride the Minnesota under, especially at home. 6-19 to the under at home. So let's hope that train continues. Hopefully you're riding the train and you're cashing the tickets with us. How strong every day? You got to call me, guys. I can't give you all the goods. All right, back to you, Brad.
But that was a lot of good, Louis D. Thank you. A lot of goods. And we move over to the eye candy of the show, Chip Trimbus, the Chipster.
Well, thank you for that, Brad. I got an interesting game. The Dodgers are at home. They have Dustin May on the mound, who's been very effective. And he's going against the Oakland A's and Frankie Montas. And Montas, of course, is catching a lot of attention, but he hasn't had the kind of year that we had anticipated. And the Dodgers are a strong favorite here. And I just think that Montas is having his off season, and the Dodgers are to play. I don't like laying this heavy number, but I think at home today that's the matchup I like. I mean, and it's more of a play against Montas, although May has been excellent for the Dodgers this season.
And Chip, I'm really sick of losing. My wife wants to kick me out of the house. How do I win? How do I get in touch with you?
Well, first off, if your wife kicked you out, you're still not welcome to come to my house. So if you need a place to stay, you're going to have to call Ross. You're going to have to call, you call Ross or you call Louis Diamonds. I mean, Louis has a gem of a home, so you can stay with him.
Yeah. We got a guard gate here,
Brad.
too.
I'm sorry, Brad. I forgot what you actually threw. Why would you threw it to me with? Did you want me to answer a question?
Yeah.
Oh, how about that?
Chipwins.com.
Chipwins.com. Yeah, you'll get a plethora of winners there each and every day. We had the Raiders, of course, on Monday night and a perfect 3-0 baseball day. And today I have one baseball game up there that's really of high stature. So log on, chipwins.com. Become a winner today.
Hey, you know what,
Thank
Brad?
you, guys.
Yeah, let me add this. I've been winning over the last week, and my wife wants to throw me out of the house. How's that work? So,
there's nothing to do with the games.
And I don't even live in Las Vegas, so I can't go over either one of them bums' house. So anyway, look, real quick, rbwins.com, 10-2 with my last 12 football plays, college football and NFL combined. Just wanted to add that.
Thank you. You added it, and I'm going to multiply it. Guys, we're out of time, but it was a wonderful show. We'll see you tomorrow. Better Center Live for more up-to-date information and fantastic picks from our fantastic team, Louis D., Chip, Ross, and, of course, Eugene. Special thanks to you and Spotlight Film Productions and all of our YouTube watchers. Thank you. Subscribe. Have a wonderful day. If you don't play, you won't win. Better Center Live. I'm Brad. Have a wonderful day.